Imagine this. You're 17, finally independent, living on your own. You've got a job, paying your bills, doing everything right. But then your mom calls and says, "Hey, I need your pay stub for insurance." Sound a little off, right? That's exactly what today's Reddit finance story is about. Let's get started. From broke to saving $3,500 a month. What do we do in our current situation? Right now, we are able to save $3,500 a month. Never had any sort of money. My wife and I finally hit a stride in our careers and both got promotions at the same time. Just a lot of great things. Aligned in a short time, and we're trying to be smart. I will get another raise, 13%, next year. Total debt is $18K cars, and eventually want to buy a home in the next few years. We have 3 kids, and homes in our area seem to fall between $550K to $750K. Buying a home one day suddenly seems possible. How exactly should we spread money around while saving? Will buying a house prevent us from saving? We have $3,500 saved up now. Help with paying off boyfriend's credit card for Christmas. My BF is about $2,500 in a hole with his credit card, and I really want to come up with some extra cash to help him pay. It offers a Christmas gift. I'm thinking if I save money each paycheck, I can get close to $1,000, but I'm just curious if anyone knows extra tricks to help pay that off. Buy used car or finance new. What's your opinion? I could buy a higher mileage 80K or so used car for $15,000 or finance a new one for roughly $30,000 and get a warranty. I'm not mechanically inclined, so I'm leaning towards financing new. What are your thoughts? Assuming your income and debt load can support both, and you plan to drive the car for 7 to 8 years minimum, I vote new. Either case, you're going to lose about $15K in depreciation. I'd rather be driving a new reliable car during that time. In the past, the best option would be buying a 2 to 3-year-old car with 20 to 30K miles. But the used market is wild, and deals are hard to find. Yeah, used is great for people digging out of debt / having trouble investing, but I think go with new is one of the first luxuries that it makes sense to start paying for as you are able, particularly now that the gap between lightly used versus new has narrowed so much, doubly so if you're financing due to the lower rate on new. I am mechanically capable, but I have no interest in spending my weekends turning wrenches. No regrets. On going new. Dear Lord, you guys are acting like used cars are constantly falling apart. LOL. Even a CPO that is a year or 2 old will have already depreciated 10 to 25%, which is a great discount off a basically new vehicle. I bought a CPO 6 years ago and haven't had to do anything but oil / brakes / tire rotation since. If you just want permission to go buy a shiny new car, have at it, but go post on a car site. You are on a purse finance sub, so the answer is do due diligence on picking out a used car. Get a PPI from a reputable shop. I am in a similar deal as you, zero mechanically inclined. The warranty is valid, but also for any decent / real / new car, it's not going to have catastrophic failures in the first 3 years. I will say for me, my past 3 cars were all brand new, as I keep them until literally they do not run anymore. One of them, a 2012 Mazda 3, had a 0% loan, which had some benefits for me. There's also the action of getting from CarMax with their MaxCare warranty. There's a pretty active sub you can. Checking on details there as well. Mom asking for Paystub when I don't live with her anymore at 17 for insurance. I'm 17 and I've lived with my mom for the majority of my life. And we've been on gov assistance before, and I also know she isn't the most honest person in the world. I just recently moved out to live with my dad, and now she's asking for my last pay stub from a previous job by a certain date. I asked her for what insurance is the only answer I'm getting, but get this, my dad pays for my insurance. Is it for some kind of fraud? Do not give her your pay stub. You should probably also put a freeze on your credit. There's a very real risk. She is trying to take out loans in your name using your social security number. She is absolutely trying to take out loans in Opie's name and got to the proof of income part. Opie, when was the last time you checked your credit history? Not just a score, the full report, so you can see what loans you have taken in the past? If never, look up Annual Credit Report, the free one you are entitled to once a year. I'm only 17. I haven't done anything to my credit, or at least in my knowledge. Lots of people your age find out their parents have been using their child's credit to commit fraud. It would be best to check your credit report to make sure. This Opie is a burning question. Do a full credit history and lockdown. Also do a postal redirect, so anything your name comes to you at Dad's and doesn't go to Mom's. This will catch anything in your name Mom has set up. I truly hope she hasn't, but it's better to be certain. Do a full credit history and lockdown. He should definitely do a credit freeze. A lockdown usually is the name of a different product offered by the credit bureaus that is not free. A credit freeze is free, and so is getting a free copy of your credit report once a year from all 3 credit bureaus. There's also lesser-known credit data processors you can freeze too. Good idea about the redirecting the mail in his name. What should I do with leftover $529? I have about $90,000 in a $529. I've finished school terminal degree and have zero intention of having children to pass it on to. I know I can roll $35,000 into a Roth IRA over a couple years, but that still leaves $55,000 that I would need to take a penalty on. Any thoughts? Roll the max out to the IRA, then just take the penalty. It's only a penalty on earnings, not the whole amount, so it's way less of a big deal than people treat it as being. I work with 529s all the time. Do the Roth, then leave it in there and let it keep growing tax-free. If you need some great, take a little out and pay the penalty on the earnings and the taxes on those earning. You can also change a beneficiary once per year. So if you have kids or plan to have kids, you can change it to them down the road, all while letting it grow tax-free with no taxes paid. It's a lot harder to put money into a 529 than it is to take it out. People have said the penalty on earnings are not that bad, and that's true. But what happens once it's out of 529? It will be subject to interest tax, dividend tax, and capital gains tax forever. Leave it in and let it grow tax-free for as long as possible. As for the investments, make them more aggressive if you don't plan on using it for a while. Also, 529 beneficiaries aren't just limited to your kids. Siblings, nieces, and nephews, and first cousins are all eligible beneficiaries. If it fits into one's financial capabilities and goals, you can support lots of family educational goals with a 529. This is odd advice to let it grow in the 529 when Opie stated they won't be transferring the 529 and are done with school. I would much rather have it grow under cap gains and let it grow in an account that requires me to pay income tax, which is always higher than your long-term cap gains. Tax and 10% penalty. Can you elaborate on why you give that advice? School, they have no kids. Why not just take the money they've saved and spend it on some other priority in their life? Yeah, they could virtuously spend it on someone else's kid, or just sit back in. The warm glow of knowing they have an account that is growing tax-free in perpetuity. But what is the point of that? What's the end game? When do they get to enjoy the fruit of their labors and saving to this point?